Hello, welcome back. This is my first video back in over a year, and by first video back, what I mean by that is the last two videos I did, they were actually existing footage that I just finished editing and put up in the meantime, because as I said on my welcome back video, I'm still not 100%, but this is the first video back. This is the first video back in over a year, so if I'm rusty, I do apologise, but that's kind of inevitable when you haven't done this for a while. Not that it was necessarily any good to begin with. Anyhow, I have here not one but two multiple USB charger adapters. That's right. Usually when you get a mobile phone, a smartphone, a tablet, something like that, usually in most cases you will get some kind of charger to plug into your wall to let your USB get charged that way. But in some cases you might have multiple devices and only one charger. So what some clever people have done is actually make you have multiple chargers. And what's even better than getting just one multiple charger? Well, two multiple chargers. That's right, in this box I have, or had, two separate chargers, both giving four different USB charging points so that you have four different devices charging at the same time. The company is from TEYASI, or the company is called TEYASI rather. There you can see the logo, a crown over what looks like a pair of wings. Not quite sure what that middle bit's supposed to be, but there you go. Registered trademark. Power charger plug. All this kind of stuff here, all the usual gubbins you would expect. Overhauling protection, short circuit protection, overcurrent protection apparently. It even had tick boxes confirming whether it was the white or black models. Both of these are white, not that there was any choice on the Amazon site in that regard when I picked them up. And there were two in here. I've got one actually in use at the moment, but they both basically came like this, in a bag like that you take out, then this protective plastic cover. Did I put that back on? No, I took it off. I took them both off and... oh no, wait, hang on, there we go. There's the protective plastic stuff. Oh god. It actually came off inside the wrapping. Nothing important on the wrapping there, just this CPE and 07, some sort of recycling symbol. QE code on there, their symbol again, something about messenger, and their instructions. We'll come back to those later, but for the meantime, let's put that over there. So this is basically what you get. Their logo on one side, some more instructions on the bottom. Model PD01, input 100 to 200 volts, 50/60 hertz, 0.8 amps, output USB 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think USB 4 has actually been given out as of yet. DC stuff, total output 4 volts or 4 amps, 25 watts. Charging technology, Smart IC. Manufacturer, Shenzhen Lighting Technology Company. Made in China, but of course. So, standard UK plug, as of course I am in the UK. Their logo on the side, multiple points. Auto ID, no idea what that's about. 25 watts, 5 amps. As you can see, 4 different plugs in. Now, I said I have two of these, only one in the box obviously at this point. That's because the other one is actually plugged into the side. I've got it in a 4-gang, so I've got some sort of extension capabilities to put it into play. And I've got it plugged into my different camera battery chargers as well as my smartphone. However, I've started getting private messages on that, so I'm just trying to get rid of those so that people can't see it. Alright, I'll just bring my phone in. You might be able to see this, you might not. Depends on how well the autofocus wants to go. In fact, tell you what, I'll just switch it to manual. 51%. Yeah, 51% now. That has been charging for about the last half hour. I plugged the last 40 minutes even. I plugged this in because it was on 2% charge, and I plugged it in, took myself off to the shower for about 10 minutes, got dried, got dressed, started setting up all my camera gear for the first time in ages, found different stuff in different places to where I usually kept it, fiddled around with my microphone, getting the battery back in because the battery was more or less dead, put other batteries in, found they were even deader, put that battery back in, so if the sound quality is terrible I do apologise, but I don't want to use the onboard mic. Set everything up, got it working again, and hey ho, hey ho. So that's about 40 minutes, so it's charged up quite nicely, going from 2% to 52% as it's showing now on screen. You might be able to see that, you might not. I'm not even going to bother trying to lift it up anymore. The batteries are charging up. There's actually a problem with one of these batteries in that you can see it's not actually plugging, it's plugged in, but it's not actually charging. I think it's this one here that's the problem. I think there's a problem with the actual power cell itself. In previous charges it's been shown that it's fully charged. I put it into the camera, and within about 2 photos of activity, literally just 2 photos, it's shown that it's almost dead. So there's obviously a problem with that battery. This charger, it is charging, but the display doesn't work properly. And of course the phone is plugged into this. There's a 4th cable plugged in just for show. However, that is worryingly hot, and it's all on this one side as well. So I have no idea if that's just because of it doing its job. I've never known a charger feel so warm. And of course that could be because it's something from China. I just don't know for absolute certain. So I'm just going to plug that in here and just see how that works in the meantime. Now, I did say that this is from China. It's made in China. It's a Chinese company. Here's the little package you get. Welcome. It gives you your cautions. It gives you details about power charger. It gives you other stuff. And of course it's in broken English. So let's just take a look at what else do we have here. Features, specifications, and so on and so forth. So let's just take a look through this. Cautions. 1. Do not make a short circuit. Disassemble or place high temperature to avoid danger. Well, I have no intention to make a short circuit. I don't have any intention to disassemble it, and I have absolutely no idea how to place high temperature to avoid danger. Although that said, that feels bloody warm. How's this one feeling? Still cool to the touch at the moment. Alright, number 2, when the charger is not used for a long time, it should be unplugged from the power outlet. Well, that makes sense, and both in that it grammatically does actually read well, and it does actually make sound advice in general. 3. When used, this product will be slightly fever. No idea what they mean by that. Does it mean it's ill? Has it caught COVID? Probably a rather bad reference given what's going on at the moment. It is 2020 after all. Which is a normal phenomenon. Will not affect product safety and service life. So let's just read through this again in one go. When used, this product will be slightly fever, which is a normal phenomenon. Will not affect product safety and service life. So I'm assuming they mean it will get hot, and that is perfectly normal for it to do so. But as hot as that is, I don't think it's getting hotter, but that still feels cool. But apparently it will not affect product safety and service life. I've kind of got my doubts about that, to be honest, to be brutally fair. Let's move on. 4. To prevent electric shock, do not expose this product to rain or moisture. Yep, no intention to do any of those things. 5. Do not place this product where children are easily accessible. So I shouldn't give it to somebody like Jimmy Savile? Let's move on. 6. Please select safety certified charging cable, connect YEYASI charger plug charging. If anybody can tell me what the hell that means, please do. It then gives details about power charger, so smart to determine whether the charging device is consistent with QC3. 0 fast charge agreement if it has in line with QC 3.0 fast charge agreement. QC 3.0 port automatically identify the required voltage and current requirements up to 3 amps. If not, meet the output of only safety voltage 5 volts 1A so as to achieve protection from being charged. Equipment is not damaged. Different battery capacity. The time of full charging will be different. Not all phones are charged 80% in 35 minutes. I get the general gist, but come on, people, you must be able by now to find somebody who can translate whichever dialect of Chinese that you work with into a more coherent version of English. English. My tongue is tripping over itself. And my shoulder is actually quite sore from holding this up like this, to be honest. It's amazing how holding one position for so long gets on your nerves a bit. Let's see, what else does it say? Power delivery, enjoy one USB-C PD port supplying up to various different voltages and amperages to your USB-C laptop or tablet. I've not tried it with any of those, and frankly I don't really trust it. Still warm. Still cool. Supports fast charging on compatible USB-C devices made for iPhone 8, 11 Pro, iPad, MacBook. Please choose MFI PD charging cable over... I'll try that again because that's me misreading it deliberately, or accidentally rather. Make your mind up, choose one yourself. Please choose MFI PD charging cable or TEYSI charging cable. You do cables? I don't know. Let's see. Would I want to buy one of your cables given how warm this device is? Still warm, still cool. Built-in IC can auto-detect devices connected in each port while also identifying the appropriate current to charge each of your device optimally at their full intended speeds, up to a total of 2.4 amps or 3.1 amps, and guarantee your devices are charging at their maximum speed. So let's see, during the course of this review this has gone from 52 to 57. That's why it's been in a unit all to itself. I'm not sure if the heat is there because it's producing power for all three devices, but it still feels as hot as it did now at two devices, whereas before it was only three. Actually, I've got a feeling that's getting warmer. Yeah, I am quite worried about that. This still feels cool. Let's just see. TEYSI support. All products have passed the appropriate safety standard. It has a 12-month quality warranty. If you need after-sales service, email them. They've got a phone number. Let's just see, there's various specifications. I'm not going to bother reading those out. Features! This is always good. Let's just see, let's make sure that this looks good in the viewfinder, because you might want to read this. That means I can't read it myself though. Let's just see. Right, the novel appearance, simple and unique shape. Yeah. For digital equipment charging to bring security. Really? You can enjoy the fast charging. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Global compatibility, designed with 100 to 240 volt wide voltage. It is perfectly suited to meet the voltage requirements of most countries. Maybe it's not set for my country, maybe that's why it's so hot. Smart IC charging, charger with intelligent identification technology to identify the equipment required for the current, high quality charging to ensure that the battery or the mobile device life of the phone. Yep, answers on a postcard as to what that means. Safety protection. The product has multiple protection functions such as short circuit protection, current protection, voltage protection, with a hyphen in the middle for some reason, anti-high temperature protection. Really? It must be failing there. That still feels cold, that still feels hot. Quick check on here, that's now at 59%. I have actually used this a couple of times to charge the phone up, and it's charged up absolutely fine. I've not used this one until right now. This is its maiden test. But, good God, I'm convinced that is just getting warmer. It may depend on where you put your finger as well, because it feels a lot hotter there than it does anywhere else. Whereas this, I'll just use this thumb just to make sure I've got a fair comparison. That feels quite uniformly cool, although it does feel like it's warming up around there. Yeah, so as of this point in time, can I recommend these? Not really, no. Not until I've done more testing, but as a first initial review, it's certainly an interesting idea to have these. The reason I got these was because I do have an existing 4-port adapter, and I did want another, but I couldn't find that same one on Amazon. It's not even showing up on my Amazon purchase list anymore for some reason. And I know I bought it from Amazon, I've got the emails to confirm it, but it's not showing up on my Amazon order list. It's completely scrubbed from the history. This is obviously showing up because it's a recent purchase, but even going back to the last 10 years where I've been buying things off Amazon, that one item, and maybe a couple of others, have completely vanished, and I have no idea why. That other multiple port adapter was a different configuration. The cables were basically plugged in this kind of way, in that kind of configuration, rather than on top like that. Which cable is this set up for? I've got no idea. So I'm going to put that in there. Yes, it's for that battery pack there. And yeah, ideally I wanted another one of those. Couldn't find it, and I saw this, which was a 2-for-1 offer. You can buy one of these separately for about £9. The two together go for £13 roughly. That's still feeling quite worryingly hot, whereas this feels nice and cool. I've got absolutely no idea what's going on, but I have spent the last 15 minutes filming, and I will of course do a follow-up, and this is at 61%, so It does charge, it does work, and it can handle multiple devices. I'm just very suspicious and very worried about that. I'll cut off here. I'm going to go and take another look at the Amazon order for this and just read over those reviews, and I might very well do an appendium to this, or even a second part. Anyhow, that's my first video back. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have, let me know your thoughts below. If you have your own experiences with this, obviously let me know again. I've got a nasty feeling though that I might very well end up having to return these, just for my own safety, more than anything else. I am not liking that sensation, I'm not liking that feeling. It's not hot on this side, it's warm, but it's absolutely boiling hot on here, scorching hot even. If it got any hotter, you could probably fry eggs on it, or a bit of egg on it. That's how hot it is. Whereas this is quite uniformly cool. Well, I'll say bye bye for now. I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, so I'm doing the appendium or addendum or whatever the proper term is for adding on a little bit extra information at the end of a video here. It's the coder, or it's something else altogether. Answers on a postcard or in the comments section. Or have I already made that joke? Probably. Had a little bit of technical issues where the last bit of this was actually lost. During that time I did check the devices that were being charged up and switch things around a bit. So the mobile phone is in one charger by itself. It's at that point it was at 70% charging. The other two battery chargers for my camera batteries are now in the other charger. Both chargers are still warm, so that suggests that if you are using one charger by itself for just one item, it will get slightly warm, but the more devices you plug into one charger, the hotter it will get, which I think is somewhat worrying, to be quite frank. So I'm just going to, because I'm having to re-record this footage, I'm just going to go and check what the state is on the phone, power-wise. It's now at 77%, its charger is feeling warm, the other charger is feeling slightly warmer, so yeah. At this point I would say it'll get slightly warmer the more devices you have plugged into one. That seems confirmed at this point. Anyhow, this is the purchase page, or the page on Amazon where you can purchase things. You can see that I purchased this on the 20th of August. This is the 29th of August as I'm recording this. The video that went live on the 29th was actually an older video, which, as I explained, was actually footage I'd already filmed, but I hadn't edited and uploaded before due to illness. But this is my first video back, and it's going up the week after. I'll probably be doing another video on the same day that this video goes live as well, because I've simply got the time to do it. That said, you can see just some of the stuff here. It's the two chargers again. It's one charger by itself, just giving you a bit more information. 4-port fast charging, we have multi-protection technology, we have international compatibility, we have the charger itself and at least two different devices that you can charge from it potentially, and a houseplant, some glasses, and what's probably a mug of coffee or tea or something like that. So 3 things that you can't charge up and 2 things that you can, and 1 thing that you definitely don't want anywhere near these things when they're charging up, because and of course we've got universal compatibility, which is like international compatibility but much wider, broader possibilities. So you could go to Mars. Shame there's nothing to do there. Alright, so let's take a look at the reviews here. We've got 4.6 stars out of 5. 75% of people gave a 5-star review, 14% of people gave it 4 stars, 9% gave 3 stars, nobody's gave it 2 stars, 3% gave it 1 star, and that is literally just one person. So let's just see these ratings here. Let's go down. We have, first of all, Miss R, who recommends that you make sure you get a fast charge lead as well. This is the second review I've wrote, seeing as Amazon didn't post my first review, which seems to be a regular thing of late. However, I would have needed to come back and amend the review anyway. I originally requested a refund due to it only giving out a charging rate of 50 to 110 megaamps. Fast charging, I think not. My original charger gives a charge of 2100 to 2270 megaamps. Yep, that's how slow this charger was in comparison. But I bought a new fast charge lead, and boom, problem solved. It now charges a hell of a lot quicker, and I will be keeping the charger after all. Now I'm wondering if the faster charger lead might also help resolve issues with the heat. It's a possibility, I suppose, but there's no way to confirm that. As far as I'm aware, the
cable leads I've got are 3 of them just came with the different devices that they're attached to, or not attached to in one case, and the other one, the grey one, that's one I bought especially to replace the cable that came with the phone that got damaged, and therefore useless and dangerous. Anyway, let's move on to the next review. Mr. Alan Parkinson. Good product at a decent price. As I usually travel with 3 devices that all require charging overnight, it is often a problem in hotel rooms finding 3 spare sockets. Tell me something I don't know. We all have had that problem at some point. This multi-charger has solved that problem, and it also charges very quickly. Good product at a decent price. Colin F says, handy space saver charger plug. It's a handy space saver as I charge 4 things at once and use just one power socket. Good quality, does not overheat, charges everything for it really well. Impressed. Now that suggests that I might have some kind of issue with one or two of these devices. One of these devices, possibly both. I might have dodgy units in that case. But they are definitely overheating. I'll be checking the temperature again later, of course. Tina Nurse says, excellent item. I bought this to save space and charge multiple things, which is what I have managed to do. Well worth the money, thank you. Amazon customer. Somebody who has literally changed their name by default to Amazon customer. Does exactly as it should, all works perfectly and arrived promptly. John Hayworth says, very satisfied with the product. Ian Ross says, very pleased. Great product, fast delivery, competitive price. 4 out of 5 stars from Steve G, who says quite a lot of stuff that I don't really need to go into, because it's just basically stuff we can all kind of gather. Does talk about the standards that apply to such units. The CE mark is one of them. The trouble is with this standard is that there is no way confirming the legal use of the mark. In the UK we have the BS Kite mark, but it's not legally required, and this device from TEYASI doesn't have one. That doesn't automatically make this device dangerous, but it does lack the extra reassurance. The unit does conform, however, to the mechanical safety standards. The pins on the plug conform as do their positioning. What I can't test is the internals of the unit. The output voltage is 5.13 volts with no load and drops to 5 volts at 0.5 amps load and drops further to 4.87 volts at maximum load. This is quite respectable. The key temperature gets no more warm than warm when under full load. But of course, if you notice the photos attached, this is for an adapter that's only for 2 USBs rather than 4, so that doesn't necessarily apply to what we're looking at. I'm going to look at the 1-star review, because this poor person Samuel says it didn't work. I can only assume that I received a faulty charger as it simply doesn't work, no matter what cable I use with it. Any of the charger works with my phone and any of my cables. The same phone with the same cables, but this charger and nothing, no power gets to the phone. Disappointing. Now he doesn't say what kind of phone he uses or what kind of cables he's using, but I don't think that really matters. I think it's just the fact that he's tried it with his phone and his phone with other chargers, and it's worked with other chargers, so it's obviously the unit, which doesn't help. Bizarrely, when you scroll up a bit, you get the very first review from Miss R again, and then we have Breton Girl, who says that it came in plastic wrap with no instructions. You need to refer to the Amazon product page to appreciate the fact that only one of the chargers is a fast charger. The other 2 are just standard USB chargers, so that basically means she's actually looking at a 3-way adapter rather than anything else, which is a bit useless for our purposes here because it's not reviewing the product again. Amazon, why are you letting people review things that aren't the actual product in question? Yeah, that's a bit concerning. Right, let's go and check the phone again and the chargers. Yeah, the 2 chargers both feel warm. The one that's just charging the phone feels cooler than it did before, and the phone's at 79%. The other one is feeling a bit warmer, but it seems to have cooled down a bit, so I don't know at this point whether or not. So I don't know if it's just because this is the first time they're really being used thoroughly and they're just charging for the first time properly under more extreme conditions, and they're just heating up as a result of that, and they might cool down later on as things progress, and persistent use might make them, you know, not heat up as badly. But I've got my doubts about that. It's something I'll do yet another addendum on to the end of this video after I've tested things out a bit more. But right now, in general terms, from the majority of the reviews I've seen that are actually relevant to these two chargers, I've got a suspicion that I've just got a dodgy pair, and I might very well end up having to send them back, which will be a shame, especially since I can't find the original charger that I was looking for. The original charger that I bought myself a 4-way adapter from a different company through Amazon, and I can't see that particular item anywhere on my historical list, and that's something I only bought last year, so it should still be there. My list goes back to the last 10 years, so it should still be there, but it's like Amazon has just totally removed it, and I have no idea why that is. Anyhow, I shall leave it at that. Nothing else to say at this point. I will be coming back to do another appendium later on. Okay, so this is the addendum to the addendum to the addendum, or something like that. It's the actual coda now. So, trying something a bit different here. I'm using the webcam, just trying to experiment a little bit more with the format and whatnot here. Using the webcam, using my microphone, I've got actually hooked up to the computer anyhow, and just seeing how this works. So, here we are. Everything's finished charging up, so everything should be good. Of the two chargers, the one that was heating up the most, the one that I was using originally, it's still warm. It's not anywhere near as hot as it was before, thankfully, but it's still warm. And that's kind of worrying to me, so I'm not entirely convinced that's good, but I'm not entirely convinced it's necessarily bad. The other one, the one that I plugged in for the first time ever straight out of the box, well, that's cool. It's as cool now as it was originally. It's still both plugged into the organ, it's still presumably taking some current and whatnot, but all items are fully charged, so that means the battery on the phone is now at 100%. Yeah, I think I like that sound effect. So, in all the time it's taken me to start doing this recording and whatnot, well, to be honest, I can't tell you how long it took overall to charge it up, because I wasn't paying that much attention. I've been busy editing the original footage and whatnot, and that has taken most of my time. The time has literally flown by. It's amazing how you can lose yourself in something as relatively mundane as video editing. Yeah. And I've got to admit, when I look at the actual images that I'm getting as far as the quality of the webcam is concerned, I'm not exactly convinced this is particularly good, so I might not necessarily use this format in the future. We'll see. I'll check and edit how that works. But as it is, would I recommend these two particular chargers? No, I wouldn't. And even at this point, I'm still in two minds as to whether or not I would recommend them for myself, to be honest. I'm still not sure if I'm going to keep them. I'm still not sure if I'm going to end up sending them back for a refund. What I will do, however, there's another type of video review I used to do back when I was doing this properly, and that's Deja re-reviews. So I have, let me just check here, let me pull up the Amazon report. These things are eligible to be returned at the latest by the 21st of September. So if by, say, the 10th of September I'm still not happy with them, what I will do instead is I will put in for a request for a refund, and I'll do my Deja review at that point to let everybody know what is going on there. So that doesn't mean that the review will go out on that date, it'll be sometime after that, but that is roughly when I would be doing the review. So we'll see what kind of formatting I come up with there, whether it's going to be on the webcam, it's going to be just a voiceover using this, or something more traditional, the usual hands behind the camera kind of thing. Yeah, that does not look right in the webcam viewfinder. What do you expect? It's a new experimental approach to everything. Brave new world.